Hi, I'm Sam the Oil Man, and today I'm going to talk about the Elgato HD60s and every problem that I ran into and how I fixed it. I think I ran into every problem, but here we go. And actually HD60, HD60s is basically the same, everything I'm going to say. But it's not as plug and play as I thought. So here we go, every problem that I ran into trying to get it set up and how I fixed it. So the Elgato HD60s is used basically as some external hardware for recording recording and or streaming your gameplay. Normally you would use an Xbox or PlayStation, connect it into one end, and then out the other end it goes to a computer, which then records that, saves it, or streams it direct to the internet. And it should be as plug and play as that, but I want to use my Android phone. This one here. So normally on my channel, Sam the Oil Man Plays Games, what I used to do, play the game on my phone. In fact, let's bring that up now. So normally I would play Animation Throwdown on my phone, and I've got a mic attached there. There's the mic, and that goes on your shirt, just a little lavalier mic. Play the game, and great, it worked perfect. But one of the things here, when you attach the mic into the mic spot on the phone, you get no game sound, none whatsoever, because it basically thinks that you've got a sound output. It's a headphone input. It's a headphone and mic input, dual purpose. But when something's in there, it tries to send the sound out as if it's headphones. So you get no sound. And the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do is get game sound and have a decent mic to record for my videos. Well, the first issue is the sound in this room where I'm recording now. It's my office, but sounds horrible, so I don't normally record in here, but for this video it had to be, because this is where all my stuff is. Over here you can see all the cords and mess that I've made trying to get this set up. And over here we've got my Surface Pro 4, my big screen that I work from, and my old laptop, which is now basically acting like a desktop. First things first, we have to connect this up. And you have an in and an out. Plus, you have a USB-C connection on this one. Where's that cord? Oop, here it is. USB-C. Connect that in. And that connects to USB 3 onto your computer for sending the data to your computer for the recording and or streaming. Now, normal thinking, you have in one side, out the other side. Well, electronics don't have to work like that. This is the first error I had. So what I was doing was connecting it up there, putting that one here from my recording source, say from this computer here. I've got a connection through to USB on back behind the screen, you can't see it, but I would basically connect that to this computer, then connect that to my other computer, and going, it's not working. What's wrong? What's wrong? It's not working. Well, lesson number 1. This is the output. This side has the input. There we go. So, why do you need an output as well? And the reason is because you might want it to go into here, but then still see it on another screen. So I might have to send it from the computer to the Elgato, and then out of the Elgato and into my screen. That is one option of how to make it work. Once you do that, it works. Problem number 2. Every time I was connected on this computer, and it wasn't working, I would pull out a cord from, like an HDMI cord from the Elgato, or plug an HDMI cord into the Elgato, either via the in or via the out. Don't do that. Every time I removed the HDMI from the Elgato, while the USB 3 was plugged in, the computer, something would happen and the computer would shut down. It would lose power or something, short circuit or something, and computer off. So do not pull out the HDMIs while USB 3 is plugged into the computer. That was problem number 2. Next, so once I got that working, I had my one computer connected to my other computer, streaming through fine. But I didn't want to play computer games. I wanted to play mobile games. Whoops! I'll just break it, shall I? After finally getting it to work. So I didn't want to play on my computer, I wanted to play on my mobile. So what I did was I got HDMI and micro USB. Plugged it into the phone, plugged the other end into the input, not the output. I kept making that mistake. In and out on the same side, and started to play. Would not connect, got nothing, no image going across. I would connect it to my screen through the output and there was an image there. Connect it through here, through the USB into the Elgato software, nothing. That's where I first found out about HDCP. That's like a copyright protection protocol built into a lot of stuff. It's kind of like an old copyright protection code that prevents you from recording when that signal's on there. You can't record the image. You have to get rid of it. So, to get rid of it, you need another piece of software. Let's plug that USB 3 into our USB 3 slot. There we go, plugged in. So, you actually need a splitter. That is a 1 to 2 splitter. 1 in, 2 out. With a power source, and the power source is so you don't lose data quality as it transfers through the line, or maybe just so the device works. That could be it. You need power. So what happens here is when it goes into the splitter, it goes in and comes out, the signal gets split. But when the signal's split, the HDCP copyright protection is removed from the signal, and that allows it to go through to the Elgato. So that, whoop, I keep dropping everything. There's not enough table space. It's actually a lot of cables and a big setup. So there's an output, and that one into your HDMI. And if you just saw there, my computer turned off because I just made that error. I plugged in an HDMI whilst the computer was on. Showing you my error. And you have no idea how many times I did that whilst trying to come up with this solution. So here we go. We have cables everywhere. Phone to the splitter. Power's back here. So let's whoop. From the splitter to the Elgato, from the Elgato to the computer. I thought, great, problem solved. The signal should work now. But it doesn't, because it turns out that these phones, especially old phones that use that micro USB connection, don't actually put out the right signal or something along the lines. So again, the image went through, I could see it, it would detect that it was going through, but it still wasn't working. You cannot get a cable that does micro USB to HDMI for this to work. Will not work. You need more. So the next thing I read that you needed a special cord to go from your phone to your splitter. A cord with an extra power source and HML processing. This one here I purchased. It doesn't actually say HML on it, but we have one cord here with micro USB, one cord here USB power, and this one here for plugging into your HDMI. When I purchased this, I discovered something. Where is it? Here we go. There's different types of micro USB. One type is much bigger than the other, and that's the difference. One is 5 pins and one is 11 pins. And my device is a 5-pin device. There's only a few devices that actually use 11 pins. Wrong cord, wrong cable. So after buying the wrong cable, I went and bought this one here, and the only advice I can give is find one that actually says MHL on the device. Can you see that? MHL. And then it's HDMI as well. And it needs an extra power source. So what you do is you connect one end to your phone, connect the other end to your HDMI cable. Here we are. Connect the other end to your splitter to take off that HDCP connection. Connect. Then, now that all the HDMI things are connected, connect your USB 3. But we need extra power. So to get that to work, you also need another micro USB cable connected to a power source. This one's connected to my USB slot, also connected to the computer. Plug that in and the power light goes on. Can you see that? So to recap, we have phone, HML connection piece, USB power cable, HDMI cable into an HDMI splitter, a 1 to 2 splitter, power cable from the splitter to the power, HDMI cord from the splitter to the Elgato, then USB 3 cord from the Elgato to the computer. Then if you want to see the image on a screen at the same time as you're recording, like this screen here, you get another HDMI and connect from the out to the in. Lots of cables. So let's see what that looks like. Now obviously I don't do that setup in here on that computer because the sound is rubbish. So let's take you to my setup for recording. So I switched onto my selfie stick now to show you what this setup looks like in my area where I record. So here we are. From the phone through to the MHL device, through to the splitter, from the splitter through to the Elgato, and then from the Elgato to the computer. There we are, and you can see there it is, and there it's picking up the microphone sound. It works. Yes. And we have the final piece here. We have USB. I've got lots of USB connections there to power all my USB devices. But there's more. If that worked, you could record. It would record the screen. It would record the game sound. But then there was recording my voice. Here's my microphone that I normally use for vlogging. That's what I was using at the start of this video. This one here. And it's a high spec, high quality microphone. It's great. It uses a standard microphone jack. So I plugged that into my computer over here. But it turns out that your computer, or at least the Surface Pro 4, it has a combined input jack. So it's a headphone and microphone. It turns out that that jack won't work unless you plug in a headphone and microphone device. I was only plugging in a microphone, therefore it did not work. It also turns out that the sound card, and hence your sound quality on your computer, is pretty rubbish when you plug in any microphone into a computer microphone jack. So for recording videos for YouTube, better than nothing, but yeah, don't. You need a USB microphone. So when I plugged in my microphone and started recording, I thought the sound was coming through the microphone, but it wasn't. It was just using the standard computer speakers or microphone input on the computer, which is also absolute rubbish. Better than nothing, but not very good sound quality. And then one episode that I recorded, I had my computer turned sideways, which meant that all the sound was coming through the left side only, so people would only hear it on their left ear if they were using stereo headphones. Also not ideal. So what did I do? I bought this little device, USB, to connect my microphone. We have microphone and headphone inputs on the one side, USB on the other side, and I thought, great, that way I can get better sound quality. Plug that in, well, and actually even work. It should at least work with this. So plugged it in, connected it all up, and it worked. But the sound input was low. It needed signal amplification. And it needed, like basically the microphone was not designed to be connected to a computer. And that meant that when you amplified the sound using standard mixing controls, there was a lot of background signal noise that came through. It just sounded horrible. This didn't work. Good idea, did not work. If you've got a microphone with a standard audio jack, ignore this step. It did not work, at least for me. Could not get it to work properly. There was all sorts of things that I tried, but whatever I did, the sound quality just wasn't what it should be. If you get a full USB microphone, recommended one is the Blue Yeti. Everyone on YouTube seems to say the Blue Yeti is the one to get. It should work okay then. But for me, I didn't have that option because I would either have to wait for my Blue Yeti to arrive, and plus more money, and plus lots of things, and I wanted to get going now, so here's my solution. So I already have this microphone here, and we know that this microphone works really well because I've recorded all my previous audio with that microphone. And I have a second phone here. I thought, wouldn't it be great if we could use this phone with this microphone input as a microphone for my computer? Turns out you can. All I did, there's this app called WO Mic. It's full of ads. Can you see that? And what it does is it lets you connect your phone via either Bluetooth, a USB cord, or via your home Wi-Fi network to your computer, and it acts as a mic, and that seems to have worked great. So that's the setup. Use my second phone to record audio here. I play the game with all those wires, and then I hit record, and I'm all ready to go. Oh, almost forgot the last bit here. You probably want to hear the in-game sound while you're playing. So what you need to do, so that you don't get feedback, is connect headphones from your computer into your ears. And that way, you've got your microphone connected to your phone, connected to the computer, your headphone connected to the computer, and your phone connected to the HDMI splitter, connected to the Elgato, connected to your computer. That's how you do it, folks. Now, let's press record. Hi, I'm SamTheOilMan, and I'm playing Animation Throwdown Battle. So, if you want to set up a system just like me, this is how you do it. It's a bit of a... It's not plug and play, let's just say that. So there we go. That's how I do it. I'm just editing the video up now, and if you want to buy any of those pieces, it's all down in the description. The app for how to set up the WO mic, that link is down in the description, or a video of how to do it is in the description, and most of the bits and pieces were on YouTube, but I just couldn't find one video that had it all. So that is everything that I put together to make the Elgato record my mobile phone on my computer. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button so you can follow me in my adventures. Have a happy day!